Hey everyone, it's Gilbert.K here. Welcome back to my channel where we treat movies like messy love songs, full of cracks, confessions, and unguarded moments. Today, we're stepping into midnight smoke-lit bar, into the anguished soul of a lyricist, whose brilliance was rivaled only by this inner torment. We're talking Blue Moon, Richard Linklater. Latest film, his 9th collaboration with Ethan Hawke, a movie that has critics whispering masterpiece, but also scratching their heads in the dark. Strap in, folks, because this one's going to linger in your chest. Let's go. First thing first, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Also check other episodes. You can listen to this episode and others on any podcast platform. So what is Blue Moon and why does it matter? Here's the elevator pitch. But you know, I'm going to linger in the lobby anyway. Blue Moon is a period biopic of Lawrence Hart, the lyricist, who paired with Richard Rodgers for many legendary songs. Before Rodgers dropped him and went on to Oklahoma with Hammerstein, the film mostly unfolds on March 31st, 1943, opening night of Oklahoma, and tracks Hart's emotion unraveling as he drinks, rants, reminisces, and rips into the world that's left him behind. Linklater, with writer Robert Kaplow, picks a razor-thin slice of time and lets the pressure cooker do the work. It's not a biopic that tries to map your whole life. It's one long, raw monologue with moments of grace, fury, and self-destruction. It premiered at the Berlinale and has been drawing praise for being deceptively modest yet beautifully calibrated. Ethan Hawke as Lawrence Hart, the heart of the storm. If there's a reason you remember this film, it's Ethan Hawke's performance. He's been Linklater's muse for decades, but here he does something that feels wholly new. He's unrecognizable, bald, slumped, belligerent, fragile. He carves hard with regret, with anger, and sometimes self-pity. What's wild is how he can pivot mid-scene from sardonic humor to wounded longing, often in the space of a beat. Critics are calling it one of his career-defining turns. He gives Hart the dignity and the despair, never letting him off the hook, but also never flattening him into a cliché. Margaret Qualley, Andrew Scott, Bobby Cannavale, they'll have moments, liveliness, and tension. But Hawke is the gravity while pulling everything inward. So what works? And works beautifully. Intensity and constraint. One of the boldest things Linklater does here is not expand. The story doesn't sprawl. It rarely leaves the bar or the backstage hallway. It's a chamber piece, a late-night confessional. That constraint sharpens every line of dialogue, every flicker of expression. You feel suffocated, hunted, and hard-skinned. Tone that walks a tightrope. Linklater doesn't indulge Hart, but he doesn't judge him outright either. There's wit, there's bitterness, there's even moments that land as funny. It's heartbreaking and sharp. That tonal balance, a hallmark in Linklater's early works, is alive here. The film can drift from melancholia to sarcastic rants to whispered confessions, and sometimes in the same breath. Writing and dialogue as a weapon. Robert Kaplow's script gives Hart room to roam. The speeches don't always land cleanly, but they feel lived and urgent. In dramatic biopics, dialogue often rings like biopics speak. Here, it often feels like addiction, like desperation. There are lines Hart spews in anger and defense, in drunk speak, the kind of raw speech you barely let yourself think out loud. Cinematic intimacy. Cinematographer Shane F. Kelly and editor Sandra Adair, longtime Linklater collaborators, thread the needle. They're not flashy, but they're precise. The framing, the pauses, the slow pans, they let Hawke and the other actors breathe, but always in relationship to space and silence. And it's on those silences, the moments between lines, where the film's soul lives. What stumbles for me? Dialogue-heavy approach demands you lean in. If you're not already attuned to theatrical, wordy storytelling, there are stretches that feel dense, even tedious. It's a luxury film. You need the patience to let it unfold. Some critics warn that it might alienate viewers who expect momentum or bigger plot beats. Underwritten supporting characters, Elizabeth Qualley, and other characters flicker in and out. Sometimes you wish we knew more of them, especially in contrast to Hart's monologues. They act as emotional counters, but occasionally feel more like shadows than flesh. Sometimes tone over plot, because the focus leans so heavily on mood, conflict, and inner collapse. The external stakes can feel a little bit diffuse. There are nights of rants of drink or regret, but in retrospect, you might search for stronger turning points that feel earned. That balance is delicate, and sometimes the film skirts too close to stylish languor. So the verdict, who this movie is and who it's for. Blue Moon is not your greatest hits musical movie. It's not the story of Rodgers and Hart. It's the after party, the dark whispers. The cigarette smoke, the man watching the world move on without him, trying to scream before the night's over. If you love Ethan Hawke, Linklater movies that move by dialogue and mood or musical history through heartbreak, this will sing to you. It's a concert in shadow with no safety net. But for audience seeking spectacle, big arcs, or traditional biopic scaffolding, it might feel too thin or too demanding. Lessons and takeaways for filmmakers and storytellers. Less can be more. Reserve emotional weight for what matters. Trim the excess. Trust the actor. Hawke isn't over-directed. Linklater gives him room to find heart in the moment. Make silence speak. The spaces between words are as loud as the words themselves. Tone is everything. Walk your tightrope. If your film wobbles too much, you lose the audience. A confined setting can liberate. Setting the night in ballrooms, corridors, it forces relationships to hit harder. Let's talk right now. I want to know, did Hawke make you feel hard? Or did the performance ever drift into grandstanding for you? Which line or moment, if any, across the film stuck with you or haunts you? For folks who aren't musical theater buffs, did you connect or did the subject feel too niche? And what's your favorite Linklater Hawke collaboration, and does Blue Moon rank up there? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, even you hate me or saying something outrageous. I live for that. If this sparked you something, a new musical, a lyric you replay, then mission accomplished. That's all, folks. Thank you for watching or listening to the Blue Moon review. Don't forget to check other episodes on our channel on podcasting platforms. Also for the latest film and series reviews, trailer reactions, and exclusive film industry interviews packed with tips, inspiration, and recommendations. More stories, more insights, and more movie magic waiting for you. See you in the next one. Until next time, Gilbert.K out.